So if you take a look at a search term, I'll break you down the process, and then I'll give you an extra. If you stick with me, I have a great little way of pulling out entities that I'll share with you. But as you can see, when we're talking about entity or semantic SEO, we need to have the right word counts, and we need to have the right amount of headings, and then we have to have the phrase that we're targeting in the right amount of places. So this is exactly what I did. I used semantic SEO to rank a page for New York SEO expert. Okay, so if you take a look at this page, it's not the best written. In fact, it's actually horribly written. However, if you take note, I have the right word count, the right amount of images. I have the specific words in the right places the right amount of times. And how I achieve that, also too, you could do this just by doing a basic search. But if you look a little closer, not only are you going to see the right amount of heading tags, not only are you going to see the right amount of words, but of course this is written in Latin. But if we take a look and you really analyze this, you could see words like help, words like business, the word new, the word company, the word optimization. And throughout the content, I also sprinkled in these specific words. And what these words are co-occurring key phrases. You see, to achieve semantic SEO, or to have a perfectly optimized page, in order to achieve a result such as this, I had to figure out exactly what words in what places. This is optimization. The key word is New York SEO. So I have the right word in the right places the right amount of times. New York SEO. This is optimization. Now, to achieve relevance, we're talking about co-occurring key phrases. Now, what I did to achieve that is I utilized a tool called SEMrush. If you have Ahrefs, it's perfectly fine. And how I pulled out the most relevant words, LSI terms or co-occurring key phrases, was by coming inside of here to the keyword magic tool. And stick with me, I'm going to teach you how to start grabbing entities as well. Stick with me. But if we take a look at the keyword magic tool, if we put in new SEO expert, this is the keyword, and you take a look at these words that are over here on the side. Do you see any ones that are popping out at you? The word company, the word business, right? And if you come over here, these are co-occurring phrases. If you take a look, it's kind of strange that these are the exact words that I sprinkled throughout my page. So now we've achieved optimization. We've achieved relevance. Now the next step is pulling out entities, right? So this is another way to go ahead and start really get the most relevant, So let's just get into this briefly, and there's a great little tool out. I know another tool that's really great for pulling out information, which is called Quora. And I noticed within Quora, they were using a API key for a tool called TextRaiser. So I was like, well, if Ted Kabitis, a freaking genius, right, is using TextRaiser to pull out entity information, then I will too, right? So what I want to walk you through now is, instead of maybe going and getting another tool, I want to share with you how you can start pulling out the entities almost complimentary, almost free pretty much, by utilizing an API from TextRaiser. So what I wanted to explain was, what is semantic SEO, or what is entity SEO? And to me, it's really breaking it down piece by piece. Having the optimization in place, figuring out what are the co-occurring key phrases, and then adding in our entities and making those associations, right? Becoming the most relevant. So in order to utilize TextRaiser, what I'd like to share with you here is a fun little process, and it's very easy. The very first thing that you're going to need to do is head on over to textraiser.com. Now, inside of textraiser.com, you can sign up, and what I did is I created a little test account, because there is an API key, and I don't necessarily want to share my paid API key, but I do want to walk you through so you can start pulling out entities from your competition. So not only can you be, optimized, but I want you to become more relevant. You can become more relevant, you will achieve higher rankings. I want to start at the page level. Here's what you're going to need to do. We'll go into TextRaiser, all right? Once you're inside of TextRaiser, the very first thing that you will want to do is sign up for an account. Now, how I created this account is I went over here to Gorilla Mail, got a Gorilla Mail, and then I filled out I followed through on the process of getting TextRaiser. Now, once you get your free API key, you can find it inside of the console. So the very next piece, or the next element that you will need, is you will need a program called Python. So if you type in Python Python, it's totally free. Actually, it's a complimentary program. So what you're going to need to do is click on this python.org. Once you're inside of python.org, what you will want to do is download the relevant stable version version that's for your system. So a lot of people are probably, or a lot of, people that are watching this might have, Windows. I use Windows. I also have a Linux machine, but that's completely separate. So for this particular example, I want to be able to share with you probably the same kind of system that you have. So Windows, all right? So once you're inside of Windows, what you want to grab is the new stable version. So once you download Python, the very next thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to utilize a particular, you're going to need to install a few, right? So what you will want to do is come on into, here, I'll do it from the very beginning. Go to your file manager. This is after you've installed Python. So now that you've installed Python, what you're going to need to do is utilize and update a particular, you probably won't have to update it, but what you have to do is you have to get into what is called, so what you'll want to do is open up your file manager, scroll on down to the C drive. Once inside a C drive, you want to double click on users. Once inside of users, click on the user account that you're utilizing. So for me, it's Chris. Once you're inside of here, you're looking for app data. If you cannot see app data, then that means that the files are probably hidden. So come up here to view and then make sure that this box right here, see where it says hidden items, click that box so you can see everything. All right, so now when you're inside of here, what you'll want to do is click on app data, double click. The next step is going to be double click on local. Once inside of local, the next step is scroll on down. What you're looking for is programs. Okay, so programs. Once you're inside of programs, now you can be inside of Python. So now you're going to double click on Python. Double click on Python, I have 3.9. And what you'll want to do is you're going to want to go ahead, right click, and then run this python.exe as an administrator. Very easy. And this has been free so far. So simple, very easy. Click on yes. Now, what's going to pop up is this screen right here. Once you have this screen up, the very next thing that you will need to do is go back, bring this down because you still have this window open. What you'll want to do is click on this right here. Go on up here and you're looking for your scripts. All right, so you've opened up your shell, python.exe, go up to scripts, double click scripts. Once you're inside of scripts, see how this says pip.exe? You're good right here. So all you have to do is go up to this top. You can see that it's in here inside your scripts. Go up to the top. See this path right here? See these files up here? See how it turned blue? Just right click and click copy. That screen that we just opened, remember we opened it up together? You're inside of this. All you have to do here is type CD space Control V. So you're going to paste that in there. Now, once you're inside of here, oh wait, better yet. No, you don't need to do it in there. Don't do it in there. Go to your command prompt. You got the path, right? Okay, now that we have the path, come on over here. Command PROMPT. So don't mess up on this, right? So you got your path, right click on this, and you have to run it as an admin. It's crucial. All right, so run it as an admin. All I want to show you is how to pull out the entities. So now that we're inside of here, we have this. This is where you want to do the thing. So you still have that path copy. So again, we've downloaded it. We're inside of here. See where we're at here? You go into C, go to your users, go into where your file is. You're going to go to app data. Then you're going to go to local. And then inside of local, what you're looking for is you're going to program. Click on programs. Once you're inside of programs, click Python again. And then inside of here, you're looking for your scripts. So you go to your scripts, copy this path down. Go to your command prompt inside of the admin. So you have to give it administrator permissions, right? So you right click, open as admin. And once you're in here, you click on CD space. Then you put that in. Now you're inside of there, right? Like you're calling from that particular area. You got to be an admin. Very, very crucial. All right, so here's what you want to do. You're going to write pip install. So PIP space install. And then all you got to do is press space again and write XLWT. Now, this is going to come up. It's going to say, whatever, you might want to update, blah, 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 blah. Don't worry about it. Here's the next thing that you'll want to do. Now that you're basically saying, hey, I want to use pip. So you'll type that in, pip install XLWT. The next thing that you want to do is you want to write this. So you're going to write pip, make sure that we're in there. So just type pip, all right? So you've typed pip, enter. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to type pip install and then type in textrazor. TEXTRAZOR. Enter. All right, so mine is already in here. I've already downloaded it, but that's how you get textrazor. Now I have textrazor and I can use it myself, right? So that was that little mess up there, not opening an admin, dude, that'll throw up the whole thing. It'll drive you crazy. Drove me crazy. Don't get worried. Follow the process. I walked through it twice with you, but now we have textrazor. As you can see here,